Interstellar, Inception, Tenet, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins. Huge, surreal deconstructions of Batman, astronauts, or whatever the fuck those two are about. But when I watched Batman Begins for the second time, I realized something. Christopher Nolan doesn't understand Batman. When this movie came out, everyone was so hyped about a serious Batman like Tim Burton had never even existed. And when it finished, we were all so transfixed by the idea of a Batman movie that's barely about Batman, we didn't realize Christopher Nolan doesn't like Batman. Bruce doesn't even put on the cowl, the thing this whole movie is named after, until more than halfway through the flick. And when he does, it gets lampshaded so hard you think even Bruce is embarrassed to be doing it. Nolan didn't want to be making a movie about Batman, he wanted to be making a movie about a cool, suave billionaire and the Gotham City criminal underworld. So he's great at that. The stuff about Bruce learning from Ra's al Ghul in the mountains of Tibet, or whatever the hell that part is set, is awesome. The stuff about young Bruce grappling with his parents' deaths and being willing to shoot the killer in revenge is awesome. The stuff with Alfred's greatest line of all time is awesome.
Why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
But all that distracts from the point. Christopher Nolan doesn't want Batman. Scarecrow is one of the best Batman villains ever, and this movie delivers on him perfectly. He has 4 separate villains declared insane so that he can bring them to Arkham and experiment on them. Scarecrow embodies fear itself and uses it to accomplish his personal, selfish goals. This is contrasted against Batman, who uses fear as a tool against the criminals of Gotham. Oh? It's not? The awesome contrast between Batman and his villain is actually never once brought up? Well, that's a missed opportunity. Like everything Nolan could have been doing with Batman. In this Batman movie. I love Batman. My earliest memories are of sitting in the living room with my dad, playing with all our various action figures, telling stories where Batman, Captain Marvel, and fucking Matt, fought and teamed up to defeat the disembodied arm of Validus. Then the clock would strike 8 and he'd put me to bed, reading old Silver Age tales of the dynamic duo fighting crime and going to Planet X, Zuranar, where everything is flipped and now Earthlings are the ones with superhuman powers.
It would be far easier to consider this a dream. But how can I? For in my hand I hold the Bat-Radia.
I've loved this character for as long as I can remember. And that's why it pains me so much that Christopher Nolan, the man who defined the character for almost a generation, doesn't like Batman. There's one scene that attempts to use Batman's intimidation, one of his strongest aspects. One of Falcone's thugs is walking around, and Bruce yanks him up by the ankle, demanding information.
I never knew. I don't know. I swear to God.
Swear to me!
No one ever touches on this. Bale's Batman voice is also just really bad. It doesn't sound like Batman, it sounds like a middle schooler who just watched a Batman movie and is suddenly trying to be super edgy all of a sudden. Batman shouldn't need a Batman voice. He needs a Bruce Wayne voice so that he can act like someone else in public. In the Batman, you can see how uncomfortable Bruce is trying to pretend to be suave billionaire Bruce Wayne, when it's clear that vengeance is all he wants to be. But that came later. Maybe the character has developed since 2005. Or maybe he'd just gone back to before Chris came along. In a single scene from Batman the Animated Series, you can hear Kevin Conroy go from his fake, booming Bruce Wayne voice to his realer, more natural voice. I know, breaking news, Kevin Conroy's Batman is good. But really, he was the best Batman, and Christian Bale just didn't get it. But none of that is really why this movie sucks. Yeah, it lampshades, Yeah, Bale's a little over the top, but really, none of that is as important as this last thing. Batman doesn't kill. Batman can never kill. This movie even tries to make a point about that itself, with him refusing to be an executioner while training in the mountains. And then,
To do what is necessary. I won't kill you. But I don't have to save you.
yes, actually, you do. If you created an easily preventable threat and then refused to save someone from it when you easily could have, that's called murder, Bruce. If he had tried to save him and failed, that would be one thing. But this isn't Batman. This is understanding the letter of the character, but not the spirit. Nolan thinks that as long as Bruce doesn't shoot them with a gun from his own hand, it's fine. But he doesn't understand why Batman doesn't kill. Because Christopher Nolan doesn't understand Batman. Hey, thanks so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. I know it's kind of short compared to my usual ones, but I had a lot of fun making it, so if you could watch one of these videos on screen right here, that'd be greatly appreciated. This one is about what I do with the sequel to The Batman, and this one is something else that I'll decide later, probably also Batman related though. Until next time, see ya. Good day.